Say about that.
Wow, that's powerful. It's almost like the weak don't have the power to forgive.
Right.
Wow.
They can't let go of whatever it was that was in the past. Now, forgiveness is an attitude of the who?
Strong.
The strong. Only the strong have an attitude of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a central right of the Christian what? Faith. And in a society where we are alienated from one another, it is much easier to nurse grudges and anger than to forgive. That's why we say isolation is a sin. Isolation is sickness. It is not good for man to be alone, because when you're in isolation, you will nurse a grudge. You will nurse anger. Okay, so forgiveness is what kind of a law?
A higher law.
Okay, read on Prophet Kelly the next thought.
Yet forgiveness is one sign of a higher consciousness.
Good. See, forgiveness is a sign that you're operating in higher consciousness, the ability to let go of a moment that did not profit you. Forgiveness allows you to operate in a higher or new state of consciousness. Read the next thought.
When you forgive another, even if he or she has wronged you grievously, you proclaim your superior nature.
When you operate in forgiveness, you're now operating in a superior nature than the one that offended you. Okay, so I want anyone to type inside the chat room, coming into the chat room with me. And let me just change this slide here so you can see the work that I'm doing. And I want you to type in it right now. When I operate in forgiveness, I am operating in my superior nature. All right. When I operate in forgiveness, I am operating in my superior nature. And we thank God for those typing that in. Prophet Manasseh, Prophetess Cynthia, Prophetess Sharon Williams, Prophetess Deborah Jordan, Prophet Eliakim Thorpe, Eliakim, Marvis Palmer, Patricia Suing, Terry Lynn, Stenset, Terry Turner, Kennedy, Glenda Jarvis, Joseph and Sandra Cartron, bless you, June Robinson, Tyrone Brackens, Angela Curry, Prophet Antoinette M. John, Jason Porter, Sonia Thompson Barrett. Amen. All right, good. They're typing that in. When I operate in forgiveness, I am operating in my superior nature. Okay, let's go on and get ready to read the next point here. Read on, Prophet Kelly.
Those who can forgive have no need to hold on to resentment of others to feel empowered.
Good. You know, when a person holds on to resentment, it gives them a sense of power. Because now they feel as though that person owes them something, or, you owe me an apology. As long as someone owes you something, then you feel rich. They says, as long as I owe you, you'll never be broke. So you'll be getting to get a false sense of power. And always remember, whoever empowers you can disempower you. Whoever gives power to you can take power away from you. Okay, read the next thought.
They know that in forgiving, they open the gates to bring themselves forgiveness.
All right, okay, let's go to the next slide here. Now we're going to go to the belief principle, which is the second principle for tonight. Read.
God is a patient parent.
Continue on.
Which means he is willing to sit back and let you make mistakes.
Isn't that beautiful about God? He lets you, because the planet Earth is a planet of experience. If we look at, the law of signature, we know the number 5 is the number of change. It's in the crossroad of all numbers. You can either go into a higher aspect or a lower aspect. You're in a crossroad. You're in the middle. You go from 0 to 4. Then that fifth number right there is where the change go. You can go higher up. You see, man is given to be the man. Man is the figure of change. If man stretches out his hands and his arms, he has 5 different points. Jesus was nailed in 5 places, pierced in 5 places. His hands, his feet, and his side. Amen. Which means he came to bring change into the world. There's 5 openings in the face of man. 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, and 2 openings in nostrils and 1 mouth. 5. There's 5 fingers on each hand. 5. Which means you always supposed to be changing your work. 5 toes on each foot. Amen. 5. Why? You're supposed to be always changing and transitioning your walk. 5 is the number of change. So you here as man is here to have the free will to keep changing or metamorphosing into one state of consciousness into the next. So God keeps letting you make mistakes. Read on.
God will not overrule your gift of free will, that most precious of all possessions.
Amen. And so we've talked about that just now. Read on.
You are free to believe what you will and do what you wish. Only be aware that what you believe will always come back to you.
Good. What you believe will always come back to you. So now we get into the thought today. What do you believe? What do you believe? Read on.
If you believe you are a loser, you will be done.
Wow. So now, what do you believe about yourself? Jesus knew what he believed about himself, but he wanted to see what his disciples believe. He says, who do men say that I am? And they told him, and then he says, who do you say that I am? And based upon what they said, well, what Peter said, he says, upon that I will build. So, what do you believe about yourself? Because that will begin to spell out your existence. Read on.
If you believe you will never meet a man or woman with whom you can fall in love, then you will not.
All right, read on.
If you believe you are destined for great things and you will bring your dreams to fruition, you shall.
All right. So what do you believe? Now, let's get into our final principle for tonight, and that is the meat principle. What is the first question there, Prophetess Cynthia? Read that.
What sustains you?
Okay, let's look at what